before you mentioned this big word, love, no?
Yeah.
I have to say that sometimes in this research of awareness, and seriously, I miss the vision of love.
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel that are kind of huge consciousness and love, huge universe, and I in this moment I cannot really connect one with the other in this research.
Yeah. Right.
If you have some words about it.
Yeah. You can focus more on one or the other, and then they may seem different, but they are not really. Right. If you just look at the pure Advaita, only consciousness, it can sometimes seem a little dry. There's not much juice in it. But if you are really sincere about being aware of that consciousness, then that awareness dawns more and more that you are connected with everything. And that awareness of being connected with everything is already that love. Love, the tricky thing is that the different things are being called love, because there is the emotion love. And of course, an emotion is like all the other emotions, it's temporary. It comes, there's a peak, it goes. Emotional love is not staying. People want to fall in love and remain falling in love, but the emotional aspect is not staying. Maybe people have experience about it. Emotions are not permanent. So also the emotional love is simply, it's an emotion, but there is something else, that awareness of being connected, which is full of joyousness. But it's not an emotion, it's always actually there, simply we most of the time, when we are very busy and full of tensions, we are not aware of it. And so if you are, the jnani goes mainly on about consciousness, but if that jnana research is sincere and that experience is getting deeper, then the heart has to open. The energy has to balance out. If that is not happening, that all the beautiful Advaita remains very superficial. We can talk for hours and fight with each other, who knows best. But it's an intellectual exercise.
Love is like, if somebody asks me to define love, I say love is when it's no separation. When it's no separation,
right.
When it's no separation,
there
it's
is love.
When
right.
separation, not love.
Right.
An example for this: if sometimes you go with open heart, and you feel
connected,
feel a heart. And when you close the heart, the same time, the same people, the same things you see, the same movie, suddenly you don't feel connected.
Yeah.
Because you feel separate.
Yes.
Like love is with no separation. With love, if I define love is no separation. This is what I define love.
Right.
No romantic. I think so. So I define it.
The devotee focuses mainly on love. And in the beginning it may be very emotional. God and me, or the guru and me, or something and me, and a lot of emotions. But if that research is really sincere, it will start to get deeper. And if that calmness, that clarity is also not coming about, it remains a superficial emotional story, often mainly to show off how devoted I am. But, right, what he says is exactly that. Love is that you become aware that you are connected. And then the devotee feels more and more that divine presence. And that divine presence the devotee feels because he has learned to open the heart to God. That divine presence is the same presence the one who is doing who am I is feeling. If you ask who am I, it's not a question to be answered, but that you become aware of that sense of presence, that simple conscious presence that is prior to all my thoughts and stuff. And the devotee who feels the divine presence, who starts out maybe very emotional, but more and more simply is in the presence of God, and feels that presence, that sense of presence, that sense of the divine presence is the same that one is touching, who is asking, who am I?
For the devotee, the detachment we were talking about before, is it just surrendering to God? Is that the same as detachment?
That's one way to detach, right? That the devotee rather is doing it like that. Whenever something comes up, instead of getting overwhelmed by it, just offers it, okay, it's all yours.
Not my burden.
Yes. And the one who is not in that devotional mood is simply seeing it coming up, and observes it and relaxes. And basically, finally, the job is the same. Whether you give it over to God or whether you observe it and relax, you still basically do the same thing.